How to overcome doubt. Welcome back to another episode of Healing into Femininity, ladies. It's me, your host, Joanna, and let's dive right into it. So, today it's my How to Overcome This and That series, and I love it, actually. Let me know if you love it too. How to overcome doubt, because it's not all the same, right? We all have, like, we have these different sabotage mechanisms. What does that mean, right? What does sabotage mean? Sabotage can only happen when we actually know where we're going or what we have set out to do. So that means that we have to have set a goal. We have set a standard. We have kind of have our sight on an end destination or something like that. So for example, if you say that you want to, over here, we're talking about holistic prosperity. Okay, so for me, I believe that's the only way to actually really live the life you're meant to live. I do believe that you have incarnated here on this planet as a soul, and you have come here to birth yourself, to create and to expand from within. Yeah, there's nothing that this world can give you really but the resources to replenish you. But you and your connection to source is the abundance. That is what's been said in scripture. So that's what it is. And I feel it. Okay. So that's what it is. So we're here to give, we're here to create. Yeah. So maybe one thing is that you want to create your physical appearance. I do believe that that's the first thing that we want to create. So we, as I said, we incarnate into this body. And I 100% believe that we choose our bodies through our souls um travels. Yeah, but I don't want to go too deep into it. I believe that we choose our bodies, and I'm so grateful for what I choose. And I hope you also are happy about what you chose, right? Like the body that you chose or the person that you chose. I believe that it is something like a raw material, and then we have to cultivate it, right? We can cultivate it, we can change it, we can dress it, we can mold it. That's what I believe. I think you're free to do what you want. Yeah, but I feel like we have chosen it. That's my point of view. Okay. So you come here into this body, and I believe that we come here to fully embody our body. And therefore, we want to feel good in our bodies. That's the point that I'm trying to make. We want to feel good in our bodies, and most of the time, it comes with feeling a certain way, an energy level, more of an internal thing, an internal goal. Feel good, which has a lot to do with inner balance in terms of hormones, in terms of food, in terms of water, food, micronutrients, our anatomy, our muscles, and things like that. Literally, the things that we don't really see. But I believe that's the first thing. We want to feel good, and we can do a lot by balancing our hormones and our biochemical composition. Yeah, because all of the good feelings are generated in our body. Yeah, but if you can't really, or if you don't realize that, you will want to induce external things that make you feel good, like food, like drugs, alcohol, smoking, psychedelics, and whatnot. Like all of these things, I'm not judging, like in certain amounts, you can do that. I have done that, that's fine. But I think it's important to know the baseline that your body has the capacity to actually create those hormones or create this feeling, which is a kind of a chemical reaction in your body. And as children, we all had that. We felt amazing. We were full of joy, full of energy, full of vitality and all of these things. So we all know, and we all actually do have a cellular memory of how good our bodies could feel or can feel because we felt it before. Yeah, most of us. So we had the experience of feeling happy, feeling healthy, being able to run, being able to feel good in our bodies. Okay, so I'm going off on a tangent with that, but I think it's important. So now I believe one of the main goals that everyone has in this life is to feel good in our body. So we want to feel good and we want to look good. And that's a goal. Okay, so you have set out that that's the goal. You want to look and feel a certain way. Okay, so then life comes along and you go day by day and different things happen. And then I'm still wanting to explain what self-sabotage is, right? And then something comes up, maybe within, maybe from without, but then also from within again. It's like this trigger ping pong, yeah, where something happens on the outside, then you feel a certain way on the inside, then you throw it back to the outside, and then the outside throws it back at you, and then it can become a downward spiral. This is where self-awareness comes in. This is where emotional intelligence comes in. This is where self-regulation comes in, right? Nervous system regulation. And this is where if you practice all those things, you can find peace and be unbothered, untriggered, even when something from the outside tries to trigger you. If you get to a place of self-mastery, you won't push back the trigger, so there's no trigger ping pong, and then there's no downward spiral that keeps you on track. This is the goal. Okay, so you are in that state where you are hopefully either you're untriggerable, then you stay on that path, and this is also not the path of self-sabotage, or you're getting triggered and then you're probably self-sabotaging. Self-sabotaging can be everything. Like if it's, again, coming to the example of body, the way you look, the way you feel, could be you said this is what you want, and then you still revert back to some foods that are not good for you, and your biochemical hormone composition, where you don't feel rested, or you don't feel nourished. It can be so many things, right? It can be so many things that you don't feel at optimum health. And most of the time, we ourselves do something, whether it be out of ignorance, and that's also okay. Only if you know better, you do better. And now you know better, so we got to do better. Okay, so knowing that, for example, it's not good to eat loads of amounts of sugar, or eat alcohol, drink alcohol, or eat gluten, yeah, or eat like refined um, oils and things like that, like low quality foods, are going to sabotage our vitality, our happiness, and the possibility and the ability of our body to come into bliss state. Yeah, I'm not trying to be dogmatic here, but I think it's important to have a baseline, right? So you can drink, you can eat this and that sometime. Okay, that's fine. But just for you to know you have the ability. Yeah. The same thing also with maybe physical activity. So when you move, when you walk, when you dance, when you jump, when you do sports, what sort whatsoever, you feel good over time. Maybe right there and then, but maybe also over time. If you don't do it, it's also self-sabotage. Yeah. The same thing goes with relationships. Maybe like basic psychology, basic sociology, basic communication, and how to speak to people, and how you are being perceived and things like that. So maybe you want to be with somebody, you want to be friends with somebody, you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you want to maintain or build up a certain relationship, and then you do things that sabotage it by not feeling worthy, not feeling worthy, being jealous, or whatever, like some kind of emotions of maybe unworthiness, but maybe also of arrogance, maybe of a lack of communication, the lack of authentic sharing what you value in somebody, right? Compliments and things like that, but also keeping your boundaries, yeah, and letting your boundaries be crossed can be a self-sabotage towards yourself or towards the relationship. So there can be so many things that are like where we self-sabotage the pre-decided on goal, okay, in all areas of life. I'm still talking about doubt, okay? How to overcome doubt, because doubt is one of the biggest self-sabotages, because this is what is happening. We have set out a goal, and if it would be so easy, everybody had their goals, right? But what is doubt? Doubt is also double. Like doubt comes from double-mindedness, right? So you don't only have one mind, you don't have a coherent thought, feeling, action pattern. Yeah. So it creates a coherent result, but there's also another mind, another voice, another program that goes along, or maybe it is even beyond or beneath what you have now set out you want. And maybe this program, your habits, the habits of thinking, the habits of feeling, the habits of doing, the habits of, yeah, the results that you're used to, this is maybe stronger. So you are now wanting this new result, but your deeper programming is running on autopilot. And this is where self-awareness comes in. Self-awareness really is the key. Self-awareness means cultivating the observer mind. It's activating the higher self. Yeah, to make it, for everyone who uses different vocabulary, the observer self is the higher self. It's our capacity as human beings to go outside of ourselves and look down upon ourselves and observe what we're doing, what we're saying, how we're doing it. Yeah. And if you have set a goal, the goal is already the embodiment of your higher self. Your higher self knows how the goal feels. Your higher self is the goal. Yeah. So your higher self is now looking down on you and be like, okay, what is she doing? Like, she's not actually becoming me. She's not becoming me. What is she doing over there? So that's why we can also call it maybe a conscience. Yeah. Like the guilty conscience or just a conscience. The observer self is looking at you, seeing, oh my God, you lost control. That's what it is. You, and when I say you, I mean your driver self, right? Your soul, your innate soul, the truth, your authentic self is driving, and then your higher self holds the vision, your higher self holds the goal, and then also your human programming will be trying to navigate the car. I hope that's clear. Your higher self holds the goal, your authentic self, your authentic self also says, okay, we're going to do this now, we're going to eat healthy, we're going to do this regimen, and so on and so forth. But your programming, the double mind, that's it. It's the second mind. What is, like, who are you? You know, when you wake up to the fact that you can actually, like, you are love. You can have what you want to have. You can reach this goal because maybe you had it before, maybe someone else is like displaying that it's possible, and you're like, I can do that too. But then it's always the other mind that comes in. And what is this other mind doing? The other mind is talking to you. The other mind is saying, huh? Who do you think you are? Depending on where you are on your awareness journey, like there are different stages of consciousness, right? So we have to develop consciousness. We have to, and we can. I also want to be a light of, you can develop consciousness. It's not that you're stuck in one level of consciousness. No, it's more fluid, right? It's coming from this victim perspective to now of an empowered perspective, to now of a more flow perspective, to now to oneness, to allness. Yeah, this is the individuation process coming more from a psychological standpoint, or the spiritual awakening, or the spiritual path to enlightenment. Yeah, so we have those different levels of consciousness, and we move through them, right? And we want to, of course, we can't start at the victim stage. We have to start at the empowerment stage, where we feel like there's some sort of agency that we have, some sort of control, some sort of power over ourselves, over our lives. So this part is now moving, as I said. And now the other mind that sabotages us wanting to become our higher self, reaching the goal, is the program. That's how I like to call it, is a program. That's not who you are, but this is what the world and all its stories, like the stories that have been told about everything about who you are as a woman, or yeah, who you are as a woman, all the stories about women, who you are maybe as what kind of ethnicity you are. What does that mean? Yeah, in a patriarchal, maybe coming back to the double-mindedness, like to come to this part of the mind, the anti-mind, maybe even. Yeah, I'm making this up as I'm speaking. The anti-mind, the antagonist. Yes, it's like antagonist, it's internal predator. So that predator is made up of the stories of patriarchal, sexist, racist, colorist, texturist, um, classist, all of the isms and schisms, all of the hierarchical thinking that there can only be one at the top. And most probably it's a white man, you know? So this is the only representation of power, even though we are no longer there, but it's very deep, right? It is deep. It has been deep for a few hundred years now, yeah, or even longer. So this mind is programmed, and this program is inside of you, if you want or not, if you acknowledge it or not. If you don't acknowledge it, you have already lost. So, but if you acknowledge that this thinking, this way of thinking, is also always trying to sneak into your system, always trying to sneak into you. This is not the truth, right? This is not the truth, but this is the 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 devil, if you so want, or whatever we want to call it, right? This is the talking into your ear, right? This one, you have this angel here and the little devil on your shoulder, and this one is saying, hey, you're not good enough. Like you should eat those cookies. You should, I think it's going to do you good if you drink that glass of alcohol. Yeah, it's going to do you good to do things that you no longer said that you wanted to do. And this is the double-mindedness is going to call you for the distractions. It's going to be like, hey, come over here, get distracted because it feels so good. And again, I made the example of the body, right? Feeling good inside your body, feeling good, feeling motivated, and all of that. So, most of the time, if we talk about the body, all of the things that are available on the low level, on the sabotage level, is going to be quick fixes. It's going to be a quick dopamine hit, a quick um, chemical reaction in your body that makes you feel like you have actually achieved the high that you naturally get when you, for example, move, right? The body will give us the 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 incentive. The body will give us the incentive. The body will give us the payoff. If you look good, right? If you take care of your body will give you the feeling naturally. It will not come in a rush like path, but it will come subtle, but it will build up, and you will feel exactly as amazing, maybe even more so if you really feel good. Yeah. But this world over here, the double mind here is going to tell you, hey, come over here, like drink this glass of alcohol, or watch this corn, or have sex with somebody that you don't know, just to get this maybe orgasm hit, or um, do something else that will give you quick, instant gratification. Please someone. This is where the people pleasing comes in as well. Please someone. So now you can get a compliment. You can get a little cookie. That's what conditioning means. Conditioning also comes from, I think it comes from there, like the Maslow guy, he conditioned a dog. So every time something like a bell rang, the dog did something, and then he would get an incentive. So there's a connection between doing something and getting the payoff, and we thinking we feel good, even though, and this only comes when we educate ourselves, when we know more, and when we set out for a new goal, which is where the higher self is holding the vision. The higher self is the educated version. The higher self is the version who is the embodiment of what you know to be, what is possible for you, um the the embodiment, the full the expansion of the potential, the living embodiment of the, what is it called, like the realized potential, right? The realized potential. And here, over here, this is constantly going to take off your energy, telling you that you shouldn't pursue this, but you should rather do this, which will ultimately lead you to death, to detriment, yeah, to losing your health, to losing your energy, losing your beauty, to losing all the things that you actually want, just because this path is a quicker path than this path. I think this was a little bit of a different way to talk about doubt, right? Doubt and double-mindedness. Doubt is this ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong between, this is the possibility, this is the potential, this is what you know could happen because other people have done it too. Why can't you do it? You're also just a human being in a body. So if somebody else could do it, you can do it with the right education, with the right knowledge, and then also with the right strategy for yourself. And here on this other side is a thinking pattern that will pull you back into the old, that will tempt you, that will talk you out of the good, that will want to seduce you into something bad, which is actually bad. We all like a little bit of mischievousness. I definitely do. Yeah. But sometimes it's like, or most of the time, like to stay in the very black and white, in the dualistic frame of mind, which is very dualistic here now, but it's important to be double-minded, dualistic. The one is life-giving, this is death-inducing. Yeah. So here, over here, you have to watch out for thoughts that will keep you limited, that will keep you small, that will keep you unhealthy, that will keep you weak, that will keep you exactly where you are, that will not, this here, over here, the thoughts and the habits and the feelings and the substances that you're looking for, the quick fixes, yeah, the quick fixes, like a drug addict, yeah, because that's literally what it is. It's the habit of, and habits, drug addicts have habits of taking drugs, and that's the same thing. We take drugs, bad drugs, for our mind, for our emotions, for our body, but it kind of feels good. And that's the whole thing about drugs. At the beginning, or when you take them, you feel so good, you feel high. I want to make a point about the chemical reaction here as well, because those chemicals, the high, you have that in your body. Your body is able to create those endorphins and feeling high and life. Your body can't do that, you know but because you don't know how, or maybe you don't have the discipline to see it through for a while until you get there, you are looking for the cheap way out, for the quick fix, for the temptation. And yeah, I could go on and on, but I think you get it, right? And this is the nature of doubt, of double-mindedness, of, here you have the healthy, the goal-oriented, the good, the higher self, the beauty, the money, the love, the good things, the good feelings. Yeah, and here you have like a cheap copy of that. Here you have the cheap way out, the quick way out, the quick way out to supposedly the same feeling, but it is outwardly created. And this is not it. This is not the real deal. The real deal is generated from within. So if you ever find yourself fighting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, get clear. Listen to the doubt. Listen, write them down. Write the ugly thoughts down. Write the good thoughts down. Yeah, look at it and really. One thing that I highly want to recommend, and I spoke about this with my friend on this on our long journey to Paris, how I feel that most people don't think things through. Oh my God, that's like a tongue twister. Don't think things through. Yeah. So it's important to think things true, yeah, through in also the negative. Where is it leading you? If you continue to think that way, where is it leading you? If you continue to do that, if you're going to continue to only get the quick fix dopamine hit, to eat the chips, to sleep longer, or whatever, is just an example. And to sabotage yourself into the quick fix. And then at the end of the day, you're going to be more unhappy with yourself because you already have activated your higher self, the observer self, who's looking down on you and thinking, what are you doing here? This wasn't the plan. We already know that this is where we're going. So what are you doing over here? And this is sometimes that's also what happens when people have dabbled in this part of their brain and then feelings and actions and habits and results for too long. Then all of a sudden, the higher self comes on knocking at your door and you're still dabbling over here looking all kind of crazy, let's be honest, yeah. And then the next thing here is to come out of shame, because when this part shines light on this part, you're like, oh yeah, actually I've met this part before. Now I feel so ashamed because I was too weak too weak to come out and go over here and follow my path up. um yeah, I hope you understand, right? So this is what's happening when we are in doubt. This part is fighting against this part. And know that this part is a program that is connected to consumerism. So it's a whole nother topic, but actually it's not, because everything is holistic. This whole thing, everything I just shared about the double-mindedness, the negativity, the feelings and the lowest self-esteem and all of that, talking down on you, you can't do this, you feel bad. Now you need some kind of chemical substances to give you the feeling that you naturally get when you are in your healthy state of mind, body, and so forth. So this here over here is connected to you seeking something outside of yourself that gives you the dopamine hit. Yeah, the sex, for example, the food, the drugs, and so on. You don't need that. You do not need that. You do not need this, because everything that we're seeking is a feeling. Everything that we're seeking over here is a chemical reaction. And if you have enough discipline to cultivate this one, yeah, it's also like the story of the black wolf and the white wolf. Who's going to grow? Who's going to survive? The one you're going to feed, right? So if you have enough discipline to feed this part of your mind, the healthy thought, the self-love, the good feelings, or just being able to feel and hold it all without abandoning it, one thought, or without abandoning one feeling, hold it, integrate it, taking the right actions, taking the right, doing the right habits, and continuing in discipline. This is going to lead to success. This is going to lead to the dopamine hit that you're actually looking for, which is a more calm, more subtle, more like a flow of energy, instead of this like pow, which you feel over here, which can be so addictive. I hope that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions, or have you had that internal fight? Did it give you some clarity with this depiction? Yeah, I hope I will hear from you and it served you. So let me know what's up. All right. So much love. Until then, bye.